How you doing? My name is JD Garnier and I'm the founder of Melonomics. Now you hear me talk a lot about the wealth mindset and a certain way that you have to think to manifest wealth in your life. And the reason why that's so important is because at the end of the day, you are the wealth. Your talents, your abilities, your gifts, your focus, your determination, your drive, your passion, your inclinations. You are the wealth, not your investment portfolio, not your real estate holdings, not the businesses that you own. Those things are just physical manifestations of the wealth that you possess here and here. And if you think about it, any person that you can pull out that has created wealth in the millions and billions of dollars, whatever business they created, whatever company they created, whatever talent that they possess, their wealth is a reflection of this and this. And so developing a wealth mindset is the alignment of how you think and what you do. And so thinking a certain way is extremely important because that's going to determine how you go about not just how you make money, but how you live in every aspect of your life. And so there are three essential things that you have to possess when developing a wealth mindset. Three things that you have to be willing to do to develop a wealth mindset. The first thing that you have to do is you got to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be willing to give something up. You can look at any great person in history that's accomplished anything, and at some point in their life, they had a decision to make. If they wanted more, they had to give up something. And so what are you willing to give up to get to another level? You got to be willing to sacrifice. You can't keep making the same decisions and expect different outcomes. You can't have the same habits and expect different results. You have to be willing to make a sacrifice. You have to give something up that you desire, that you want, that you believe that you need to get to the next level. Is it a habit? Is it a person? Is it a desire? Whatever it is, you have to be willing to give it up. And when you have a wealth mindset, you understand that. And you understand that sacrifice is not really denying yourself. Sacrifice is a gift. You are saying that you're so committed to what you want that you're willing to give something that you desire away. And when you do that, that solidifies that commitment. It etches it in stone that you're that committed, that you're willing to give up something to get what you want. You got to have that type of mindset. Any type of wealth that is created has never come without sacrifice. And so you have to be willing to sacrifice something. You got to be willing to sacrifice the pleasure for the purpose, the temporary for the permanent. You have to be willing to give something up to get what you want. You can't keep doing the same things over and over. You can't keep having the same bad habits. You can't keep surrounding yourself with the same bad people. You got to sacrifice something. That's the first part of the wealth mindset. Even if you inherit money, what you're really inheriting is somebody else's sacrifice. This is all consistent. Anybody who has accomplished anything has had to give something up. And so the first question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? The second thing that you have to be willing to do is you got to be willing to take a risk. You have to be willing to lose something. We all know how dangerous comfort zones are, right? That's the safe place where we keep everything we have. We don't risk anything. We don't risk our emotions. We don't risk embarrassing ourselves. We don't risk any money. We just stay in this place that is comfortable, that does not put us in any danger, but nothing grows in a comfort zone. You have to be willing to take a risk. You have to be willing to lose something. I don't care if it's a business. I don't care if it's an investment. I don't care if it's an opportunity to grow. You have to be willing to take a risk. You have to be willing to lose something to gain. That's the only way. That's the only way. The only thing that is compensated is risk. That's it. Safety is not compensated. Because with safety, you're being compensated with that umbrella of safety. But the only thing that is compensated is risk. You have to be willing to take a risk on yourself. You have to be willing to take a risk on opportunities. But you got to be willing to take a risk. Nobody ever accomplished anything by playing it safe. Nobody ever achieved anything in a comfort zone. And so the next question is, what are you willing to risk? And the last thing that you have to be willing to do to develop a wealth mindset is you got to be willing to wait. Patience. I've talked recently about this microwave society that we live in, where everybody wants everything fast, right? We spoiled. We want to just pop it in the microwave, press a couple buttons, and get the results in a couple of minutes. But success does not work like that. Generational wealth doesn't work like that. You have to be willing to wait. Once you've made the decision to sacrifice, once you've made the decision to take a risk and come out of that comfort zone, you have to let the process play itself out. You have to be able to see things through. Life is not a microwave. You can't press a few buttons and get the results. And there's a reason why a cooked meal tastes better, because it goes through the process. Because it goes through the process of the heat changing the molecular structure of the ingredients to create something different. And that different creation is pleasing to the body. It sets on your soul because it tastes different. A microwave can give you a result, but it's not going to taste the same. You have to be willing to wait. You have to let things see themselves through. I meet people all the time that make an investment or start a business and they want to see a profit in the first few months. They want to double their money in the first year. It doesn't work like that. You can name anybody that's great, and many times we see people that look like an overnight success, but when you really dig deep into their story, they've been grinding for years. They were doing what they get paid millions to do for free. Nobody wanted to hear them, but they were patient. They were willing to wait. They sacrificed the pleasures. They took a risk on themselves and they waited. And so you have to have patience. That's what a wealth mindset requires. A wealth mindset isn't a gamble. It's not a quick flip. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a slow, methodical, foundational growth of wealth here and here. And if you do it the right way, it's going to manifest itself physically in the form of money, investments, real estate, businesses, all of the things that you desire to have anyway. But it has to start here and here. So if you want that wealth mindset, you got to be willing to give something up. You got to be willing to risk something. And you got to be willing to wait for something. And if you can do that, you have what it takes to have a wealth mindset.